Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me start the live. Good morning to everyone on Facebook and to everyone that's joining me on the webinar as well. Today is Monday. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend and we have a dose of sunshine. So we're going to be talking about listening to your intuition and really the basis of how do you do that. I just did a half-day workshop, similar title, however, this is very different as in the steps that you need to take. So without further ado, let's see if I can get this up and start the process. Oh, so I may as well start from here. Wait a minute, I'm totally going too far. It's a little bit chilly here in Sydney, so I don't know where you are, but I'd love for you to share where you're watching from and let us know. Good morning, Christine. It is a great topic, and it's a topic that where I'm going with this is the foundation of where we all need to start when we're listening to our intuition. So good morning to whoever's watching. Good morning, Raya. So listening to your intuition has got a few different parts to it. It's freezing in Toowoomba. Hey, Del. Yes, it's really cold. And I have this thing where I start the morning with a cold shower, like not like I have my normal shower and then I turn the hot water off. And I did that this morning. I didn't do it all weekend. And oh my gosh, like it was intense. So like ice cold. So it's been really, really cold here in Sydney this morning. So, but let's get on with this. And let's talk about listening to your intuition. Now, I'm going to say it again. For those that are watching on the Facebook Live, if you actually want to see the screen and what the slides that I'm sharing, then you need to register for the webinar and just put in here webinar, and we will send you the link so that you can actually get the link and you'll be able to see what's going on this side of the screen other than me just sort of looking and you're just watching my face, right? So so let's talk about intuition. I did just see someone put something in the chat. Good morning, Susan. So for those that have never, I have never had the privilege of meeting you. I will give you a little bit about who I am. And for those that have known me well, please just bear with me. Maybe make a cup of tea or something along those lines would be great. But my name is Elizabeth Eleanor. My business page is The Spiritual Warrior. So if you're watching this, you're on my business page. And I didn't always listen to my intuition. You know, you grow up in a situation where you're being told to do things, not to listen to yourself, you know, like even if you grew up in a beautiful family environment, we are all brought up to listen to our parents, do what we're told, and so we end up not listening deeply internally, but we listen outside of ourselves and the influences that are in our lives. And so it becomes a practice, it's a learnt behavior, and we have to re-establish ourselves to go back into listening internally to us. So I don't know if everyone can hear, but my cat has decided that she wants to come in and she's scratching at the door and she's just going to have to wait because I'm not doing, I always cater to her and today I'm not because I'm online. So usually I get up, but I'm not. So I've been a remedial massage therapist for 20 odd years. Discovered energy and healing through that process about 18 years in, or 18 years ago, and it sort of happened to me. And I was a fearful person. I was scared of listening to myself. I didn't even know I had to. I always thought that I listened to everyone else, that whatever I thought was wrong. So, you know, do what you're told, be a good girl, all of those things. So I actually just did what I was told and thought that that whatever I thought was wrong, because I'd been conditioned to do that. And so it's a big journey breaking through that pattern. And I'm going to share with you what I went through to, my cat's wondering why I'm not getting up to get her. It's a big decision, or it's big steps, but I'm going to share with you the steps and then talk about, because they seem really simple, they're a big thing though, right? So have you ever been confused with the voice that you're listening to and the voice that is telling you what to do, or that deep knowing within you, and not knowing whether you want to listen to it, or if you can listen to it, if it's the right voice? So you've got too many decisions and choices to make, listening internally or listening outside of the influences outside of you. Like, you know, have you ever had that confusion where you're not sure what to listen to? You've got a big decision to make, something, there's a choice that for you to make, and there's a knowing inside of you, but you're not sure what decision to make, because we're all so conditioned to not listen internally. So have you ever had that experience where you're not sure which road to take? I'd love for you to put it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, I'd love for you to put #replay as well, so that we can see who's on here. But there are some very simple steps. They may not be easy, but they're very simple. So I want to share with you what those steps are. The first one is pretty obvious to me, but sometimes it's not to everyone. I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day who's very precise with language, and I realized that the things that I think may not be the way others think. And I've known that for a while, but it was a reiteration of that for me. So you want to have a clear intention. If you're wanting a strong inner knowing, if you want to be able to listen to your intuition and hear it loudly, then you need to have a clear intention on that, right? So even something like saying to yourself on a regular basis, my intuition is very loud, or I hear my intuition louder than any other voice or any other calling. You know, putting that intention out and actually saying that to yourself is a great way to start the process, to be able to listen to that intuition in a deeper way. And because what we intend is what we create. So having a clear desire and intent to be clearly guided is our first step, is to actually have that in our energy, that's what we want. We want to be clear with our intention of being able to hear that voice over and above every other voice. The next one is trust. When you first start, you have a lot of doubts. You have a lot of doubts that what you're getting through is clear and that it's the right voice. And so trust that what's coming through for you is accurate, because it's like going through school, right? When you first start, you're learning colors and you're learning numbers and you're learning the nursery rhymes, and it's all very basic stuff to a high schooler or a university student. But you've got to start somewhere. And so the little bits that do come through, you want to make sure that they are acknowledged by you, that you trust that you're actually getting the accuracy for you. So don't second guess yourself, because it's a process. And even if you make mistakes, like they're not mistakes, they're just opportunities for growth. So if something happens and you decide to listen to that voice and it doesn't go the way you thought it would go, then trust that it's an opportunity. One of the things that I know about listening to your intuition is what your intuition has clearly got for you and what you've clearly got for you can be completely different things. You know, I was just up at the Central Coast a few months ago and decided I was going to rent a house up there. Everything was going and flowing well because I was putting out, I was creating that's what I wanted. And like I was this close to a house, and I'm sure it was mine actually. And that the people right at the end made a decision to go with somebody else. Now, I'd moved back down to Sydney and was starting to pack all my stuff up. And something major happened with my mum. And the day that happened, I get a phone call to say, or it was an email, to say that I didn't get the house. And I realised that I actually needed to stay in Sydney. And because I did, I was here for 2 other major events in my mum's life, which one of them, she would have died, at least one of them. And so what you are thinking is going to happen may not always be the case, but you've got to trust that you're being completely guided, that clear intention is accurate, and that there are no mistakes, that you don't make any mistakes. They're opportunities for growth. And so, you know, it's you'll be given the correct steps as you go along, and you've just got to completely trust that they're the correct steps for you. And the most important one, in my opinion, is faith. This is over and above every other aspect of learning to listen to yourself and your intuition, is to have faith that you're on the path and that you're connected to God, source energy, all that is, whatever your language is around it, that you're connected to that source and that you're not alone, that source has always got your back and is always guiding you on the correct journey. So when you've got faith, when you've got trust, and when you've got a clear intention, then they're the foundational aspects of listening to your intuition and knowing that it's guiding you the correct way, like all of those things together. So you have to, you know, my brother, on the weekend, my brother messages me and says, I've just seen this SBS On Demand series, and he watched one of the episodes, and it was Morgan Freeman was the host, and it's all about wormholes. Like my 2 brothers are right into science, and it was all about wormholes. And this episode was, is the universe alive? And it had completely changed my brother's understanding of the universe. And it was all about the particles in the universe and how they've got a consciousness, basically, and that maybe wormholes are creating all these various universes. And they had all these graphics and stuff, and they were talking about quantum mechanics and quantum physics and stuff. And I'm watching it, and he said it was absolutely profound. And once I watched it, he wants to talk to me about it, right? And so I watched the whole thing, and I'm thinking, this is really cool, because this is all the stuff that I teach. This is all the stuff that I believe, you know, since, like, it's been about 15, actually maybe 18 years when I first sort of woke up. I've had this really strong feeling that science and religion would, or spirit would actually eventually come together and understand each other, and they wouldn't be separated. And so my brother rang me up and he was saying, oh my gosh, like, now I'm seeing that, because he doesn't like God, the word God, and the way religion has labeled God. And so he was saying the universe is the intelligence, is the consciousness. And I said to him, what if we look at it a different way? What if we say that, because it took me a while, people used to say the universe to me, and there was something that didn't feel quite right about it. And so I said, instead of thinking it's the universe, that's sort of like calling the horticulturalist the garden. What if, God is the consciousness and the universe is its body? Like, that's like we have a consciousness and we have a body as well. And so we had this great conversation. And I don't know where I got that every particle has a consciousness, but I've known that for a long time. And so it's been really, really interesting to hear this information that's coming through, and that they really are starting to marry up together. And for the first time in all my life, my brother sort of listened, this one in particular, the other one won't listen at all, has listened and sort of not quite understood me. And, I don't have the scientific facts and all of those things. And so he's just sort of, I think he's been amused, but it was the very first time that I was able to add to what he had just experienced. And we had this fantastic conversation about the whole thing. So, having faith that there's this bigger consciousness that we are part of. In the Bible it says God made us in his image, not the other way around. And so having the awareness that we are, this whole universe could be the cell of another bigger being, like we have no idea. And the fact that to even think that we would know is, in my opinion, quite egotistical. There's so many possibilities. And so having faith that we are part of that source and that we are connected to that source and we're not alone, clear intention, because we're in this quantum pool or soup of energy. And there was this little tiny particle, and I can't remember what they called it, but it's in everything from the sun all the way to, it's constantly coming and going on our skin, and it's smaller than it's almost like the plasma that everything is. So there's this whole connected field that we are. And if we can just have faith that that's the case, that we're not alone, clear intention, trust in the process, and sorry, power blackout here. Thanks. We'll catch up on replay. No worries, Diane. Maybe quark. It was something like quark, but it's a little bit smaller than quark. I'll have to watch it again because it was a word. I have heard quark, but it was a word that I haven't heard before. It looked like dust, Okay, so all of those things. Then on top of that, the next part of that is listening to your body. So you've got something that you have thought of, you've got a decision you've got to make, and in that you make a choice. You want to feel into your body. How does it feel? How's your body responding? Because body awareness is vital for the understanding of the intuition and how it talks to us. Because our mind is the chatter, our mind is the thought process and is actual, in a way, words in our head. It's the intuition is a knowing. It's sort of more silent, right? And so you want to be aware when you make a decision, do you feel heavy in your body, or is it a light, joyful feeling? A lot of people get like tingles or goosebumps on them. Like, are you one of these people that actually gets goosebumps when you know that you're on the right track? You know, like this, that's the language that your intuition, your higher self, your connection to God gives you as a way of saying, yep, you're on the right track. That's a lot of people that have that. The other thing is to seek a mentor that can support you along the way if you are someone that has needs a little bit of guidance, because yeah, goosebumps, I'm a goosebumps person, absolutely, Christine. Yeah, is a great you know, is quite strong, is quite distinct, so it's a really good method of language. So if you're someone that doesn't have goosebumps, maybe that's part of the intention you can put. You get it down your legs, goosebumps, I feel energy running down my legs. It's so cool, isn't it, guys, that you can like identify with it, identify with it as a message so that you know what's going on, and you can know that you're on the right track, right? Now, when I say seek a mentor, sometimes you can have vibrations in your energy field that are actually causing you to stay caught in that pattern of doubt and fear and concern and worry, and not listening to yourself because of various things from your past, your childhood, or you know, past experiences, whether that be, you know, past lives, or you know, all of those gamut of vibrations that can be stuck in our energy field. And so when you have a mentor, you don't want someone that's going to tell you, because you, again, you know, like it's the outside influence, then you're constantly having to go to somebody else all the time. And again, you're not listening to yourself, and, you know, it's sort of like having to go to the tarot reader all the time, right? When I first started what I called EQT, energetic quantum transformation, there was a couple, but there was one woman in particular that she used to come on a regular basis. And then I realized, and you know, we were stripping. And then I realized that she was reliant on me for some of her answers. And so I wasn't doing what I do now, where I'm teaching people more about their intuition. I actually just said, in fact, she would have been the first person that I went through that process with, because I said, you know, you can't come to me anymore. You know, if I was a deceptive person, I would take your money, but you know, you're relying on me instead of listening to yourself, and it's not helpful for you anymore. And so we started teaching her, you know, I helped teach her through the process of listening deeply and how to be more energetically aware. And now she works doing Reiki and all sorts of stuff. So it really put her on a, you know, trajectory of working on along those lines and those fields. So it was really beautiful. But you want to find a mentor that's not going to just say, yeah, I'll do a reading for you and take your money. And again, you're looking outside of yourself. You're looking for an influence outside of yourself. It's not beneficial to you if you want to grow spiritually. So those are basically the foundations of listening to your intuition, all of those parts. So having faith, clear intention, having faith, trust, and listening to your body. I think there might have been one more. I can't remember. But if you are on this webinar and you're not part of my business page, this is the QR code if you're interested in joining and finding out what we're up to, and finding out a bit more information. There's always, you can go back and listen to the webinars that I've done prior to this. We do a meetup every month as well. Next month is our first anniversary. I'm very, very excited. and I'm going to be talking about abundance and vibration from a vibrational point of view about abundance. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, just let us know. Maybe put meet up in the comments and we will send you the link for that. And if this sounds like something that you would like a little bit more information about, if you find yourself still listening to the information outside of yourself and being influenced outside of yourself, then no worries, Kerry. Thank you for attending, hun. If that's something that you want a little bit more information about, just put in the comments, yes, please. And you can have a 30-minute free chat with me, just so that we can discuss where you're at, where you want to be instead, and see if we can find a way to support you to listen more deeply to yourself. And very exciting, I've got another half-day workshop coming up. I just did my first one a couple of weeks ago, and I've got another one coming up on the 5th of September. This one's going to be similar but slightly different. You know, when you find the first one, you know you want to tweak things. And so I want to talk about not just listening to your inner voice, but also creating your own reality. So that's on Saturday, the 5th of September. If you're interested, please just throw in here workshop, and we can send you the link for that as well. So hope everyone has an awesome, awesome day. I would love to hear. Excellent, Belle. I'll send you the link for the workshop. Thanks, Susan, for jumping on. Hope you have an awesome week. Set an intention for the week. What is it that you're going to achieve for the week, so that you're on track for, you know, your goals and your dreams? And I will see you again next week. Take care, everyone.